Sup guys, today we're gonna talk about language learning. I'm gonna yap about how I'm learning a new language, the way that I'm learning a new language. And this language is Japanese. So no script, just yapping about what I have been doing, and you can just copy me my methodology. I've been teaching English for the past 10 years, so that's my bread and butter. Since I left the army, I guess. So I have some things to tell you, and I hope you guys can just learn from this video. So my name is Emerson. I'm an English teacher. If it's the first time that you're joining this channel, this is a playlist, and I just yap while we are talking about different topics. You can agree or disagree, just leave in the comments. And as you guys asked, this video is gonna have subtitles in Portuguese and also in English, and in my Spanish channel also in Spanish. So the first thing that I think a student should do when starting a new language is input. A lot of students get this wrong because output is important, but I do believe that forcing output is a way of traumatizing yourself or creating some kind of trauma in a student. It's like pushing someone to speak a word or speaking using a structure that they have never studied is just crazy. You're just pushing the student to speak, but you have never given the proper vocabulary. So the thing that I think every student should do is to start with the basics, but first start with listening. Listening is the easiest way to get input. It can be very passive. You know, you're just going to the gym and you're just listening to something. It can be songs, movies, series. I know it sounds silly, but I have told many people that, and they're always like, oh, Emerson, when I'm resting, I like to watch in my own language. I don't like to read the subtitles. Most people are like that. Most people just think, oh no, this is the time to study and this is the time to relax, and they just separate. And there's nothing wrong with that, but the problem is wanting to learn a new language fast and not wanting to immerse yourself in the language. You know what I'm saying? So I think that not only you should add in the basic things, because that's very easy to, let's be honest, it's very easy to watch movies in English. Most people just watch movies at least once a week, or watch series at least once a week, or watch videos on YouTube at least once a week. And it's something that's very easy to add into your routine. If you're starting, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you are in regards to English. You know what I'm saying? It can be something that you like. Some yapping session, just like we're having now. It can be a class, but later. In the beginning, you can just start with something easy. Don't try to push yourself too hard in the beginning, because imagine, you've left high school maybe 10 or 20 years ago. Some of you might have gone to college if you'd had this opportunity, and then you've never studied anything after that. So trying to just give this shock into your life might be very stressful, and that's That's very important because I'm not only talking about the technical issue, I'm also talking about the behavior issue. So you need that behavior part when you're studying, because like really wanting something, creating a plan is different than following a plan. I know that you want to learn a new language. I really do. I know that you want to learn as fast as you can and add this skill into your skill set. It's going to make you have a better job. It's going to improve your life in every aspect. It can be something personal, like a life goal, and it can be something that you really need because of your work, or even because you already live in the US, in the UK, or whatever. So this behavior aspect is very important, because not only the technical aspect of learning vocabulary, learning grammar, learning this and that, you need to do this every day, or at least try to do it every day. Because once you start and you see progress, it's easier to keep doing it, to keep pushing yourself. You know what I mean? So the first and most important aspect is the behavior aspect. Put the language into your routine. And if you don't live abroad, no problem. You can just add it into your routine by listening to songs, by watching movies, by watching videos on YouTube, or whatever. Just start with input. The next step is you need to have a standard. You need to have a logical sequence to study. And on my YouTube channel, you can just get that for free. You just start with A1 level vocabulary. You're gonna study A1 level vocabulary. So we have something that's called grading, which is evaluating the correct level. So instead of just learning random words, try to learn the basic words, because these are the ones that are going to be very useful for you every day. And study them, use them. A lot of students, they just get very excited by learning something new, and they want to learn present simple, present perfect continuous, future simple, future past, and future perfect continuous, the present perfect, the past perfect, and whatever. All the verb tenses, and they don't really master any of those. And I think that's a big mistake. You can also have it by adding new vocabulary. But what I really suggest is start small, focus on that vocabulary, learn that vocabulary, and then move on to that next vocabulary. You know what I mean? Because, oh, just 1 second, guys. All right, let's move on. Let's continue. I highly recommend you to learn something deeply instead of just learning the next thing without any sort of quality, and then keep learning and having all of those vocabularies that you have never mastered. It's just in your mind. If someone says it, you might understand, you might guess what it is, but you never get to speak with that vocabulary. There's something called Bloom's taxonomy, and what I'm going to ask you guys is really important. Go to my YouTube channel and watch this class, which is called the Map of English. So in this class, I just teach how to learn English in a proper way. What do I mean by that? So you're going to go up. You're here. You can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. You can understand what I'm saying, but you can't speak. The words are in your brain, but you have never gone deeper. So that's why you never get to speak. So this Bloom's taxonomy is very important because you are going to really understand how your brain works. And Bloom's taxonomy also helps you with understanding where you're at in your learning stage. After that, and that's what I'm doing, you can go to the creative aspect. So focus on input. Try to listen as much as you can, not only because of the input aspect, but also because of the behavior aspect, because you don't want to give up on learning. You want to keep learning. So you need to feel that you're learning, and you need to feel that you know what you're doing. After that, we're going to the creative aspect, which is speaking. I highly recommend you start doing shadowing. Shadowing basically is listen and repeat. So you're watching a movie, listen and repeat. You're listening to a song, listen and repeat. Try to repeat, try to copy the emotions, and you're going to start adding that feeling and the sentences. You can also, in that stage of creation, start using chunks. I have a playlist which is Learn English with structures, and with those structures, you're going to learn English with chunks. For example, I want to learn, I want to eat, I want to go, I want to sleep. And then you move on. I want to learn, I want to eat, I want to sleep. So you just start getting that knowledge, but not in a basic level. Now you're adding that vocabulary in a deeper level because now you're speaking. These sentences are simple, but you're speaking. After that, you can go to the conversation part. Emerson, but shouldn't I start with the conversation part? You don't have vocabulary. You have never listened to anyone. So how can you start with the conversation aspect? Since the output is a result of the input. First the input, then the output. So after all those steps, you can go to the conversation aspect. You can talk to people and try to use the vocabulary that you have learned. If you don't have anyone to practice, you can use, this is not a sponsored video, you can use Hello Talk, I really like it. And you can also use ChatGPT or whatever. And try to give topics to your conversation. If you're talking to a real person on Hello Talk, here's what you can do. You can just ask ChatGPT, oh, please, give me A1 conversation questions for me to talk to people on Hello Talk. I want to talk about the future. I want to talk about routine. I want to talk about sports. And try to talk about specific topics and learn the vocabulary of those topics. You can keep practicing and you're gonna see the result. And when you study the grammar part, you're going to understand, oh, I can speak like this, I can speak like that, and try to gather all of those resources, and then you start building fluency. So it's better to have a lot It's better to have a few words that you really understand, a few structures that you really understand and can use them, instead of just having a lot of vocabulary that you can't speak. It's better to have 200 words that you can understand, speak, and use than just having 2,000 words that you can just guess their meaning. You can just listen and maybe you're gonna understand. So guys, that's our conversation about the way that I'm learning a new language. I've been doing it with Japanese and it's been great. I've been studying Japanese for the past 3 to 4 years and I just love it. I just study as a hobby, and if you have any questions you can just leave in the comments. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I hope to see you next class. Bye bye.